Deuce Knight is a rebel. As y'all all know, this was to be expected. We knew Deuce Knight was going to leave. We knew Deuce Knight was going to probably end up an Ole Miss rebel, and it is now official. Now, we got to talk about this move in its totality and what it means for Ole Miss. Now, number one, this is big because you get a former five-star recruit, right? A guy from Lukedale, Mississippi, who played at a high level, obviously ends up going to Auburn. We know previously in this race, it was Auburn, Ole Miss at one point way before, and then it was Notre Dame. He was former Notre Dame commit as well. Now, this is big for them because they're going to need somebody to probably replace Trinidad Chambers. He just got denied his 6-year eligibility. So who is next? Who will be the next heir to the throne, basically, for Ole Miss after a historic season winning 13 games and only 2 losses? Now, Knight has a whole bunch of potential. We seen him earlier this year against Mercer. Lit them boys up for 15 for 20 for 100 nearly 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Again, y'all gonna be like, well, nah, just Mercer. Who cares? Once again, they was a SoCon champion in the group of 5, and they made it to the FCS college football playoffs as well. So year in, year out, Mercer's a pretty good team. Not saying on the level of a SEC or Ole Miss or any of those teams. I'm not saying that, but they are still a formidable team in the group of 5. I think number 2, Deuce has the talent. When Deuce is on and he's playing, he could play at a high level. And the fact that he showed that even in that little bit of time showed that this dude can play at a high level. So for Ole Miss, this is not necessarily a bad backup plan with Trinidad Chambers potentially not returning back. And then 2, you're not going to have to pay as much money, right? Remember, you guys just signed a deal with Chambers for nearly $5 million, $4.5 million. You're probably not going to have to pay Deuce Knight that much money, especially after a freshman season. He didn't play that much. So 1, you're getting a bargain for your price if you're an Ole Miss fan and you're an Ole Miss rebel. And then number 3, this dude has supreme talent. And he's already shown glimpses of that early on into his career and what he can do with the ball in his hands and when he's playing at a high level. I think for Deuce Knight going to him instead of Ole Miss, I think he got to come in hungry and got to want it. Not saying that's not of his character, but this is a great opportunity for him, and he could really put himself on the map. With everything that's going on, Ole Miss does have some solid footing. We know about the moves they made in the secondary, Jalen Crawford. We know about Joel Agrell. We know about, obviously, Edwin Joseph. They're doing some good things on the back end to help solidify this team. And then you still got Kewan Lacey back another year. So that's going to make your job easier if you're Deuce Knight because you actually got a really good running back in the backfield. I think potentially number 1 in the nation next year when we do these rankings, Kewan Lacey should be right up there. So they're going to make it easier for you, right? Obviously, they like to throw the ball, but they like to set up the run as well. But for Deuce Knight, this is an opportunity, like I said, again, to show your talent and come in hungry and ready. And when your opportunity presents itself, ball out. Remember, this past season, say what you want. I've been said it. Y'all looked at me crazy. It was like, well, Austin Simmons, he got hurt. Yeah, he did. But guess what? Trinidad Chambers was ready to go for his opportunity. And he never allowed Lane Kiffin, the offensive coordinator for Ole Miss, to go back to Austin Simmons. Right? He struggled. 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Chambers came in. Everybody's like, well, yo, he should be a top draft pick now. He came in, he was ready, won a Fair State national championship, D2 national championship, and the dude was ready. So if you Deuce Knight with this great opportunity ahead of you, you got to get ready. You got to be ready, and you got to be ready to go. So, yeah, man, big move. No surprises, I told y'all. I heard through a source, most people heard it as well, that he was going to, obviously sign or commit to Ole Miss. So this is big for them, and it's a good backup plan just in case, Chambers cannot return. It's looking likely that he won't, unless you got a guy that could be a star in the rank and waiting in the wings for you and for your football program and for your team. So I give this one an A-. So much potential for this kid. He's going to be hungry and ready, and I think this dude's going to ball at Ole Miss, man. So a really great pickup for Ole Miss and the Rebels, and I think they're going to be right back there. Not saying they're going to get as far as they did in the college football playoff. I don't know, but they should be a competitive team in the SEC and at least contend for SEC title in 2026.